watch this. They had this young woman's conference, a Turning Point USA, the Young Woman's Leadership Summit. And they have Alina Habba, the Trump lawyer here. And watch what Alina Habba says. Watch this.
My first home when I was born was across the street from a McDonald's. And my father used to take the money that he could have and got a Coke and a pack of peanuts every day so that we could survive.
So she's telling the story about the American dream, where her dad, they lived across from a McDonald's and they got a Coke and peanuts every day so they could survive. I mean, first off, I don't think McDonald's sell peanuts, but
he taught me about the American dream.
But she's reading here about the American dream. But wait, hold on.
No matter how down and out he might have felt, he made sure every Sunday we went to church.
Every Sunday they went to church.
We were not allowed.
They had their peanuts.
To whimper.
No whimpering.
We were not allowed to fuss around.
We
didn't have iPads.
Suck it up, right? Suck it up.
And we had to get on our knees and
You got to be poverty and you got to just pray your way through it, right? You got to suck it up and just own that poverty.
Had to pray.
Right? You got to just pray.
But more importantly, watching him and watching my mom's support for him taught me about
supporting him.
Values.
Like Harrison Bucker.
Work ethic.
Family values, work ethic.
Use now every day in a way that is unimaginable.
Dude, you ready? Yeah, it's the bootstraps detail.
And they guided me through many challenges I faced as a young woman, navigating a normal world prior to being President Trump's lawyer. Her
salvation, okay? Right? Peanuts and Coca-Cola, dude. But you ready? Dude, her dad is a very well-off gastroenterologist. She went to a high school that costs $50,000 per year, bro. $50,000 a year. Yeah. But she's up there reading this speech, right? Telling you this deeply personal story about Coca-Cola and peanuts, living across from the McDonald's, and how they went to church every day and prayed, and mommy devoted herself to the man, and it was just the morals and their... Dude, she's reading a made-up story, bro. She's reading a concocted speech. Everybody here is like, she knows about the internet, right? Dude, she went to one of the most elite private schools in New Jersey. One of the most elite high schools in the entire country. $50,000 a year. Her parents were extraordinarily wealthy before they even came to the U.S. She's full of bro. These people are full of... It's like, honey, your $50,000 school and that $18,000 diamond-encrusted cross. Why do this? Well, because they do this to sell capitalism, to sell this idea that if your life sucks and you're making $12 an hour and you're piss poor and you actually are eating peanuts and drinking a Coke, just hold on. Just go to church and pray and be devoted. And if you do it right and you're dedicated, you're going to end up like her. You're going to end up like them. They promise. But it's, bro. She was born into extreme privilege. It's wild, bro. Like the lies that they engage in. You know what I'm saying? The lies that these people engage in is crazy. Dude, we got to look at some of this. This young woman's leadership summit. Somebody said it sounds like an anti-trans thing, but it is. There's the pronoun attack, right? My pronoun, patriot. So this is exclusively like anti-trans because this is the new methodology. Okay, gay rights are advancing. Oh yeah, Riley Gaines was here. We're going to hear Riley. I've got a clip of Riley. She was there. Here are the speakers. Alex Clark, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Laura Trump, Alina Habba, Riley Gaines, Jessica Reed-Noss, Yeonmi Park. Riley is like dirty, dirty, dirty filth. She is. She's super toxic. They're all part of the right-wing movement. Chloe Cole is a detransitioner. She's a trans person who detransitioned and has become the voice about trans being bad. Obviously, Laura Trump, Alina Habba, Riley Gaines, anti-trans activist, Ali Stuckey. A lot of these people are like Twitter personalities. It's super crazy. Obviously, as you can tell, it's Christian. It's a highly Christian, highly... Jesus. It's like a super Christian sort of family spreading summit that Charlie Kirk is behind this, the TPUSA. And of course, everybody there is white for the most part, with very few exceptions. It's white Christian. It's a white Christian programming camp, a white Christian anti-trans programming sort of thing, right? I mean, we're going to look at it. You're going to see it. They're going to be almost exclusively white people. It's a white Christian women group, right? Here we go. Look at this. See that? It's here for the moms. It's here for the white moms, right? And you know this girl, the girl that has a problem with the bathrooms, remember the all-gender bathrooms? And she's also the one who started the fake Target controversy. This is her. Okay? Right here. This is very important here to watch this video because this is who...
Their new Pride collection was out.
Okay.
Let's take a look. This is a special swimsuit. It is invented for tucking. Live, laugh, lesbian.
Okay, so she said, oh, they're selling tucking swimsuits for kids, is what she said. She made some videos where she took an adult tucking suit, which is for, you know, older women, tucking suits extra wide in the crotch. You wear pads. There are innumerable uses for a sort of thicker, wider suit down there on the bottom. They're not exclusively for trans people, but yes, trans people wear them as well. But she went and grabbed a swimsuit from an adult section, and then she went into a kids section and she made a video about how they're marketing them to kids. And it started this crazy Twitter thing. But again, it was based on a lie. That's who that is right there. Be feminine, not a feminist. There's the first black people we've seen at this event. This event is almost exclusively all white. It's white Christian. Here's Riley Gaines. This is the Riley Gaines clip. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Because Real America's Voice has been one of the only outlets to actually cover what's going on and to tell the American people the truth. And so when we share our story, we hear other people comment and say, me too. I know somebody that happened to. I'm glad we're getting these stories out. So thank you for giving us a voice to tell our story, because Real America's Voice has been one of the only...
Man, talk about a voice. Her voice was insane, bro. Dude, her voice was nuts. Yeah, dude, if that's America's voice, we're in trouble. That's the voice of America that's like forced to live under Christian rule. But there was one on here that was particularly toxic, where they were talking about all the young women. Oh, here we go.
Here, a lot of them, you talk to them, they say, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to have a family, I want to have the traditional values. So talk about the importance of that with the people here.
Yeah, so the girls here are so excited. They're so cute. They're like, I can't wait to get married. I can't wait to be a mom. And it's so refreshing because when you scroll on TikTok, really all you see is a lot of girls being like, I am not jealous of you for being a mom because I'm too selfish to be a mom. I just want to sit there in my sweatpants and not have to move and not have to do anything. And I don't actually believe.
So you love how that's the binary that these Christian propagandists offer. You're either a mom, a happy, loving, can't wait to be a mom and have kids, or you're like a lazy piece of wearing sweatpants and doing nothing with yourself. Yes, exactly what Krygo said. You're either a mom or you're a bum. You're a loser. And that's it. That's the binary they offer.
Many of them truly believe that at their core. They want to be married. They want to have children, and they want the life that these women are so ecstatically talking about.
See that? And now she's going on to say, well, and in fact, it goes beyond that. Those bums all really do want what we want. It's so gross, dude. It's disgusting.
I just want to sit there in my sweatpants and not have to move and not being like, I am not jealous of you for being a mom because I'm too selfish to be a mom. I just want to sit there in my sweatpants and not have to move and not have to do anything. And I don't actually believe that many of them truly believe that at their core. They want to be married. They want to have children, and they want the life that these women are so ecstatically talking about. What I find very funny is Alex Clark, who has been running YWLS, gave a study yesterday about how there are so many women who actually have somewhat conservative beliefs on dating, on purity culture, on all of those things when it comes to dating topics.
I know,
Yet
Craigo.
they don't talk about those things because it's not popular to talk about those things, but they actually feel that way. So
see, that's just it, though. That's part of their game, though, is even if they say they don't want it, no, they really do want it. This is what evangelicalism does. This is what it does. Creates this environment that says you don't even really want the things you want, because ultimately their morality, their belief system is superior to yours. So if there's a bunch of women who don't want to be moms, they're like, no, you actually really do want to be moms, but you just need a little more Jesus. You need a little more God, and then you're going to want to be a mom. Now, hearing these women talk, you're thinking Harrison Butker is smarming around somewhere, right? He's looking for a replacement after his wife dies of exhaustion. He's going to come get one of these girls. But this idea, though, that the women get one choice. You're either a Christian, loving, husband-supporting mom, or you're a lazy, sweats-wearing, dirty, demonic human being.
Want to change the country, it starts at home. So how do they prioritize that family, focusing on what you can do there?
It is really challenging, and like I said, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all answer, and I think as conservatives who are like pro-family, pro-woman, we need to be careful that we're not coming across as just judgmental. I'm sure there are a lot of women out there who don't want to be sending their children to daycare. They feel like they don't have a choice. So instead of just kind of looking down our noses at women who are doing things differently, we need to ask ourselves, what could we...
Ain't that some word salad? To see Republican women, conservative women, evangelical women saying, hey, we don't want to appear judgmental. Dude, what are they? Come on. Oh, Lordy. That is a tall order, bro. That is hilarity.
We do to help you live that dream of staying at home, spending more time with their children. For some families, it might mean that as conservatives, we actually...
By the way, you only get to stay home, and even if you want to be a mom, okay, you only get to stay home and care for your children if you are in a money family, okay? That's not available to most families. To be able to stay home.
Hey, let's look at
just
how
care
we
for
can
the
empower
kids.
Things like flexibility in the workplace. I know a lot of people are against work from home, but if it's something that can enable women to stay at home with their children more, maybe we need to bend on that a little bit. And I know a lot of people are old-fashioned. No, you need to be in the office. But I think it's about trying to have that conversation with these women, hear what their needs are, and especially when it comes to things like homeschooling, a lot of people think that's inaccessible, that's too much effort. They're not really prepared to step.
See, that's really what they're after. They want an army of Christian homeschooled kids. You can program the kids much, much better if you can just keep them away from other human beings and keep them homeschooled. I mean, paid maternity, paternity leave would be great. So would healthcare. So would access to, mental health services for everybody. But that's not going to happen. But what they want to do is they want to buttress white evangelical families. And it starts with the Department of Education. Right now, everybody pays taxes. And that tax money, some of that tax money goes to pay for the public schools. But what evangelicals want to do is evangelicals want to be able to extract their tax money out of the public school system. They don't want to pay taxes that go to public schools. They want to homeschool, or they're going to send their kids to private schools like they already do, private Christian schools, where they can control the environment. There's no gay people. There's no poor people. There's no people of color. But they want to get their tax money back. If you live in a city, you pay taxes, and your money goes to pay for the people, for the roads of the people in the counties that don't have any money. That's the way taxes work. But they want to take it out of education. They want to dismantle the public school system and get that tax money back for themselves to fund their own Christian educating. And then all the schools will crumble too, or many schools will crumble, not all of them. But of course, if all the white people take their tax money out, or all the white people with money take their tax money out of the pool, it's going to affect the schools significantly.
In that role of teacher, there are a lot of programs that are there to help parents along the way so they don't have to come up with their own curriculum by themselves, which of course can be daunting. So I think it's about trying to listen to parents, how we can help them instead of just being, you should do this, and we're going to just let you figure out by yourself.
I love that. Yes.
Oh, yeah. We love it. We love it. Dude, it's so crazy. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here.
That the economy is bad or the housing market is bad because of COVID, because we're trying to recover from that. But the reality is the fact that we have no law, we have no order. And again, a lot of these...
Oh, there we go. So now they're saying it's not COVID. COVID isn't affecting us. It's not the fact that corporations and hedge funds are buying all the housing and jacking up housing markets. But no, it's... What is it? What is it? What is really the problem there, Savannah?
The economy is bad or the housing market is bad because of COVID, because we're trying to recover from that. But the reality is the fact that we have no law, we have no order. And again, a lot of these migrants are coming in and they're taking jobs.
Oh.
For example, the New York Times...
So we have no law, we have no order, and it's the migrants that are causing the problem.
And
okay. Thank you, Savannah.
This piece about children that are being exploited and being utilized to work at some of the top companies. Okay, we're talking about what's some of your favorite snacks that you would buy at the store, like Cheetos, right? The biggest brands out there, they are utilizing children to work in their factories.
By the way, Republican Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has made laws that enable this. It's Republicans that are making laws that let this happen. Like the law in Arkansas where they no longer have to check ID for children workers so they can hire undocumented. It's happening in Arkansas and Iowa. It is Republicans that are doing this shit. Right?
In these harsh conditions.
It's not Joe
illegally.
Biden.
And again, this is just causing a lot of problems. And going into what you were talking about regarding illegals taking over people's work and jobs, Uber is one of this, right? One of these things, one of these examples. So it's heartbreaking to see that the...
Oh, Uber, what is that? Undocumented people are taking all the Ubers in their brand new, nicely insured cars. What the fuck is she talking about, bro? Come on, dude.
Thank you for giving us a voice to tell our story, because Real America's Voice has been one of the only outlets to actually...
Oh, that's the girl with the voice. Thank you for burning that voice into my brain so I will never be able to... Her voice is crazy.
To tell our story, because America's Voice has been one of the only outlets to actually cover what's going on.
Dude, I want my voice to sound like that. I just need some whippets and a truss, right?
School mom in Texas. This is very close to our hometown, and I'm getting sued by Biden's White House officials and Democrat politicians for flying Trump flags next to the Biden bus when it drove through New Braunfels, Texas.
All right, so Joellen Meszaros, let's look at her. So they were traveling through Texas in a Biden-Harris tour bus, and Dolores Park, Joellen Meszaros, and Robert Meszaros coordinated with others to form a Trump train that surrounded the Biden-Harris bus, blocked its path, and forced it to slow down to 15 to 20 miles an hour. One participant in the train allegedly sideswiped another vehicle. So this was harassment. This was a group of vehicles. They didn't just wave a flag next to a bus. It was a group of vehicles that surrounded the bus and tried to control the speed of it. They were basically just sort of road rage bullying the Biden bus, probably so they could make some viral content, okay? But now, according to her representation, they were simply waving a flag next to it. They leave out about the part, though, of the harassment.
By Biden's White House officials and Democrat politicians for flying Trump flags next to the Biden bus when it drove through New Braunfels, Texas in 2020.
Again, much like Alina Habba's peanut story, we got to get the whole story there. We got to get that whole story, boss. It's like harassment on the road should be punished. I mean, this is part of the problem, though, because this is really... When you talk about freedom with right-wingers, I mean, we see it here all night long in the chat. Right-wing people want to have the freedom to be able to harass us at will, and they want us to have no mechanism for silencing them or holding them responsible for their actions. They want to be able to use the F slur or the N word or to troll Trump 2024 or say negative shit, nasty shit, make fun of our weight, make fun of our bodies, make fun of our gender, our sexuality, or who we love or how we raise our families. They want to be able to harass us, call in bomb threats, burn our books, or burn books that, might teach us sex education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they want no recompense. That's what they want.
Warfare that's happening to Donald Trump is already happening to average Americans like me who support him. And there are 0 criminal charges. They're suing us for emotional damage. This is their attempt at chilling free speech and interfering with presidential elections.
Yeah, she's full of shit, though. She left out the fact that they slowed the bus down. Dude, I got to mark this because they're lying. This is lying. We got to debunk this shit, bro. Here it is. Here's what we're seeing, boss.
The country is really on the brink of a very important day. We need to make sure everybody is their best. I bring in Andrew McCabe. You know him.
So look at this. This, again, dude. This is problematic here. The fact that we should be allowed to drive down the road and not have a cult of Trump flag carrying vehicles surrounding our vehicles and preventing us from driving. It's not even like a protest. Like somebody could get in an accident here. It's not like, all right, you want to protest some shit? Block the road. Block the road like other protesters do. Fill the roadway with human beings out there. Have your protest. Whatever. Pick a thing. You're protesting what? You're protesting you don't like that there's a black woman who's the VP candidate? Fine. Protest. Put on your KKK hoods and block the road. Carry your America's First sign. But this shit of thinking you can just make a group of cars and surround vehicles and stuff, this is the shit they used to do in the 60s. Right before they forced the car off the road and shot them dead. And make no mistake, they know this. They know this, these kinds of tactics.
And pedigree, good to see you, my brother. So this is what was happening in Texas. The woman who was recording it was unnerved by it, as were the Biden staffers. They actually called 911. Trump folks in trucks or whatever, cars, they weren't just surrounding them. They were forcing it to slow down. They got it down to about 20 miles an hour. Then the cops came and didn't stop anybody, but escorted
look at
the
that.
bus to where it was going.
That guy sideswiped somebody. You see that truck?
The bus to where
look at that.
going. What is the law here?
Look at this shit. This is what the woman is lying about, bro. Look at that truck sideswipe a vehicle, bro.
Really on the brink of a very important day. We need to make sure
they're liars, bro. They are liars. What's funny about it is these people would be the first people to probably use the phrase the woke mob. But you see how this woman is lying here. She's lying through her teeth about what happened.
Damage because you had a Trump flag by a Biden bus.
Yes, so they claim that in federal court, under the Ku Klux Klan law, they're saying that in the civil complaint, they say we resembled the Ku Klux Klan hooded on horseback in the dark of night by driving down the road with vehicles that had Trump flags on them, and that we suppress minorities' voter rights by our presence, and that's what emotionally damaged them.
So the Ku Klux Klan Act, though, was something that was instituted to protect people from being surrounded and bullied like that, where groups of guys would show up in their pickup trucks when the civil rights workers were going from town to town during desegregation. Cars full of people used to surround vehicles, force them off the road. Sometimes people were murdered. But you see how she leaves out the story? They always leave out the story, man. But let's look at Riley Gaines. Here was the Riley Gaines thing that I thought was really problematic. Here's my take on it. Is this argument is dumb. In the last 125 years, we've gone from horses as transportation to pocket-carried AI, right? So it's completely ridiculous to think that our social fabric won't change as drastically. There are no limits to evolution, nor should there be. And I go on to say, seriously, in another 100 years, the word man and woman might not mean anything at all. And that's objectively true. Our society is advancing so much because of artificial intelligence, because of technology, because of pocket computers, because of screens, because of social media, that the normal social fabric of man, woman, child, family, it's going to change. It's probably going to get obliterated with the next 100 years of technology, to where what is a man and what is a woman is going to evolve. Okay. But Riley, though, is like, no. We got to go back to barefoot, pregnant Jesus, 2,000 years ago.
Why is this happening? Why do I so fiercely and so passionately want to defend this topic? Well, let's be very clear. This is so much broader than just women's sports. This is so much broader than me not being able to hold the $5 production little dinky trophy. This is so much broader than sharing my placement with a man. No, the premise of this—
It's a trans woman,
this debate,
not a man,
this
by the way.
ongoing debate is that we're denying.
But again, right there, her statement, right there, just that statement about sharing the trophy, she won't even acknowledge the existence of the trans woman. So her entire thing, you can't really have any discussion about transgender people, their existence, their rights, if you can't acknowledge their existence. So that's problem number one. But anyway.
This debate, this ongoing debate, is that we're denying objective truth. We're denying the most basic.
See, but I'd like to point out that she's denying an objective truth that trans women and trans men exist. Transgender people exist. They have before she lost that trophy. They've been around for as long as human beings have been around.
The $5 production little dinky trophy. This is so much broader than sharing my placement with a man.
Trans woman.
The premise of this issue, this debate, this ongoing debate, is that we're denying objective truth. We're denying the most basic of truths, biological reality, a truth we've never struggled to understand in the nearly 250 years we've been established as a country, but certainly much longer than that, that being man and woman. And understand, if we will deny that, the sheer essence of humanity, hate to break it to every single person in this room, never mind every single person on this planet, you're all here from man and woman. And if we will deny that, there are no limits. And this is stemming from the very tippy top and trickling all the way down.
Yeah, people are just not even, like, you see that? There's like one person out there clapping. Dude, it doesn't matter. This whole thing, this whole biological reality, man, woman, it doesn't matter, bro. It really doesn't. She's rambling and rambling and rambling. Trans people exist. They always have. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to cease to exist because of Riley Gaines and her wicked stepmother approach, or Chloe Cole being the one detransitioner who had a bad experience. Like, they exist. They're going to be around. They're more and more winning elections, starting their own businesses and being successful, now having careers other than just sex work. For a long time, trans people only could do sex work. Really. For a long time. If you go back and look at a lot of the history as they've been acquiring rights, now you have them being journalists, running companies, being Congress people. Eventually, they're going to be mayors and governors. And maybe one day we'll have a transgender president too. But for a long time, the irony was they couldn't get any real work. They couldn't get any jobs. They were so discriminated against, but the one job they could always do was be a sex worker, because the irony is the Christian husbands of women like Riley Gaines would be out there paying trans women to have sex with them. Like, no joke. That's how the cycle of life goes, bro. Go watch Euphoria. It's not made up. Go look at Jimmy Swaggart or many of these Republican anti-gay zealots. Dude, it's wild. But at the end of the day, though, dude, none of this shit matters. You know what I'm saying? If they want to be a sex worker, yes, absolutely. If you want to be a sex worker, that's fine. Go be a sex worker. There's nothing wrong with doing sex work. But when you're so discriminated against that you can't get a job, but the only job you can have is to do sex work, and then you're providing sex work to the very people who are using their religion to demonize you, like, that's f***ed up. I think sex work should be legal. They should get health insurance. Let's regulate that. Let's keep track of that. Let's take care of those men and women, trans men and trans women who want to do that work. You know, let's unionize it. Let's go. All right. Dude, that's our show for today. This shit is crazy. Dude, Riley Gaines, she's dirty, boss. She's like MTG Lauren Boebert dirty, dude. Bad news, baby.